goddamn Finland. Hey, I'm Jarkko, Finnish drummer, and I built myself a soundproof studio here to this detached garage here in Finland. After posting the tour video and the build videos, there's been some commonly asked questions about my studio build here on YouTube, Facebook and Reddit as well. So I figured out to put together a quick questions and answers video about the most frequently asked questions about the build and everything related to the studio. And I'm also addressing to a couple of comments which I've been getting here, some peculiar comments. Especially for those of you who are considering yourself building a soundproof studio, I think these are interesting questions and I'm giving you the answers right here. So let's get into it. Question: how much did the wood of the framing and the walls of the double room cost? I will put the figures on the screen. You're able to basically calculate it. Of course, depends how you get those materials and which materials you use, how to cut down the cost of those, the way you build things in general, because there's so many aspects of a build like this, so many products and materials, and how you're able to get them and which materials you're getting. It really makes a difference in the end. They all add up and can really save you hundreds and thousands in the build. But that's about the amount it cost me to build the inner framing and the walls inside. Question: how soundproof is it? This is probably the first question that comes to your mind, and I think it's quite nicely soundproof. And I already as well posted a sound test separately about it, recording me playing drums here inside and also outside, so you're able to check that out and hear it yourself how soundproof it is. My neighbors are happy, that's the most important thing. Basically, you are able to sense if you're outside that somebody's playing some drums inside there, if you're close enough to extent that it's not really disturbing at all. And to be honest, I don't think many people around here know that I have this drum studio here. Next question: what are the final dimensions of the room? I also stressed about it that, after building the room within a room structure, how small will it get? And now the final dimensions of this drum room area here, this main room, is 4.5 meters wide, and the depth of this wall build here is something like 8.6 meters deep. And the room height is 250 centimeters, which means 2.5 meters. We're in Europe, in Finland, so that's the metric version. I don't know how much it is in feet. Is it 8 feet? Not sure, but 2.5 meters is the ceiling height. I'm pretty happy with it. How much did it cost? Well, if you want to build a proper soundproof room within a room build like this, which is decent size, not like some small 2x2 meter box, you'll need at least to start it from somewhere around 10,000. If you have less budget to do a proper sound isolation for drums in a detached building even, you still need more budget likely. And that's like the minimum, and then it goes up from there depending on size, the permits, the ventilation and how you do it exactly. In general, the range is somewhere between 10,000 to 30,000 plus. Some estimates say that you shouldn't even try to soundproof a garage under 30,000. This build ended up costing, I think it's somewhere around 22,000 maybe. So that means I was able to pull this off in quite nice budget. But that was possible through only me being heavily involved with it, doing as much work as possible myself, but still also using professional construction people and other professionals which was needed. If you mess things up, the cost can go easily double of that. We have heard those cases and seen them. I know them. That's not something you want. And I also stressed about this a lot. And I did it properly, managed to pull it off. And now it is. Here we are. Do I need to hire professionals? Well, yes, to some extent at least. I didn't really have building skills when I started this build, But I would strongly recommend working with a professional constructor or renovator, builder alongside you for a project like this, because you want to build it properly. The construction of the solid parts of it and everything need to go right. You want to build a long-lasting build, but they often almost never are soundproofing specialists, so you need to really know what you're doing and oversight them, and that's what I did exactly. I did a lot of the work myself, especially these repetitive things which weren't like safety critical, and then the professionals handled the structural and the critical parts. But anyhow, that combination, that kind of hybrid DIY method is the one which saves you a lot of money and also helps you avoid crucial mistakes which can then double your budget. And then you will need structural engineers to verify your build plans, do some calculations regarding the moisture point, And then if you want air ventilation, which you likely will need, you will need an HVAC designer who is qualified to do that kind of calculation and then be part of the permit process as well. So if you are applying for the permits, you will need qualified professionals other than just the contractor what you are using to doing the actual building work. And good thing to remember is that the permits isn't just for like sake of bureaucracy and paperwork. It also affects how long the building lasts and how healthy it is to use. So there are certain things that are for a reason to get also the permit, and you do them in a way that it's kind of like by the code, so it's a long-lasting build and a healthy build. So keep that in mind as well. What about the winter and summertime temperatures? Any issues with that? Well, I live in Finland, so the fluctuating weather is a real thing here. As you can see in the intro, it's pretty extreme, can be in winters, and nowadays it's as well really hot in summer time, some of those weeks. Now, so in Finland, with these really cold seasons where we are talking about -20, -30 degrees Celsius, you can't really avoid condensation. But in here, in this build of mine, I took care of it and it's well under control. I've seen it from basically seeing how it fluctuates and how it's able to contain it and have it in control. I built certain solutions for it and they work, which I'm happy and I stressed about them. I wanted to build everything foolproof so I don't need to start opening things. So I took everything into consideration and it's been working nice. So the ventilation and the moisture control and then, the seasonal changes are the things you need to take seriously into consideration in the way you build it right from the start. As you know, fixing those problems later will be expensive and also stressful. How long did the build take? The whole project took me about 2 to 3 years in total, I think. And that includes everything, the researching, planning, permits, figuring all things out. But then the actual build itself can be much faster than that, depending how you do it. I also have this resource which you can use to really make your building process and the planning research thing phase much faster. I have this Soundproof build course, which I put out. There's a link in the description in that. It will help you out tremendously to save time and, get proper solutions for your build. So there's that side, the preparation part, but then if you are able to work on it with proper pre-planning and knowing exactly what you do, full-time working alongside with the professionals involved, it can be done within 2 to 3 months if everything goes well and without delays and everything, which requires that you know exactly what you're doing, as if you've done it before. My course shows you that as well. But realistically, for most people, I would say that it would take 6 to 12 months at least to do a project like this. And it will take you something like this to get everything done when you're planning to start, when you're ready to start. At least it will take 6 to 12 months. If you then make mistakes and don't know what to do and in which order, the project can easily take years. I also had some prolongings in the project because I didn't know certain things because I had never done it before, which prolonged it with months, but those could be avoided if you know what to do and if you had done it before. Now I would be smarter to do it, so I would be able to pull it off in way faster time and with less stress as well. How soundproof are the doors? They're very soundproof. Next question. Kidding. I'm really happy how they perform in my build here. There's sound testing done as well. In the sound test, there's also a segment where we are sound testing the wall side where the door is, the outdoor, and it's working really well the way I built this. And regarding that as well, it's kind of like this throughout build. The system needs to work from all of its aspects in order to be effective. So you need to take into consideration a lot of these aspects. Question or comment. Building like this is mindless, and then you have this shit gear like Behringer. What the hell? I'm having the gear which I already owned. This is the X32 rack of my band, which we use for live as well. And it's equivalent of the X32 Producer Edition as an audio console, which we also used to record already our previous album's drums. In the previous rehearsal place which we had, the drums were recorded there through this console, same console, and we were already able to get quality professional sounds from that. Check out the album. I put the link to the description about the sounds. And for sure I will be updating later as well the gear as the studio matures. I spent more time here, so I will be upgrading it. I also asked this guy who commented about this that Behringer is absolute shit. Why would you build something like this and why would you use gear like that? Is that I'm using the gear I'm having and I will be upgrading it a long time. And then I also asked this guy that what would you suggest as the next upgrade to this thing, and I didn't get any answer, so I guess that's his knowledge level, which means basically that everything by Behringer is shit. Nice. It's more like what you play and what you're able to come up with than the gear. But for sure, different preamps and things like this could be an upgrade. If you have ideas how to upgrade the audio console or what to get next, feel free to add to the comments some ideas. You probably know more than this guy who commented. How much did it take you to build these acoustic treatments and how much did it cost? The cost of it was, I think it's under 1,000 euros for sure. And of course it took a lot of time to build all these. I think I have at the moment 13 wall panels, 3 ceiling panels above the drums, 1 bigger ceiling cloud here above this position right here. And I also built 2 different sizes of gobos. And then I built these diffuser panels, 2 different types of corner absorbent bass traps. So a lot of work, which is the most time consuming. Then I think altogether the work could be done within a week, full-time working. A lot of elements here. The material list you can get from the course, so check it out from there if you're interested in that. So I think that's about for the most commonly asked questions. If you have some more questions, be sure to drop them in the comments. Check out the tours and the build walkthroughs, which are published on this channel already about building of this wall studio, the overall overview of it. And if you are really thinking about, and it's time for you to build your own soundproof studio, check out the course, which goes really in depth. It's a once in a lifetime investment and a project like this, so better do it right. The course is a kind of like a quick way to get things in line, and you're able to then put your time to start really focusing on building your own project, planning it. That's the big benefit there. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next videos. Until then, see ya.